So today we'll discuss about the extra questions from the same sample books. All of you are supposed to listen attentively and to discuss the answers. And if any doubt or if any problem is there, kindly raise your hand. And offline, if you people are without mask, kindly put it on. So let's start with the first question. Which of the following is true for GDP? Options are: it includes the value of final goods and services produced within a country. Option second, it is measured for 1 year. And it is not measured for 1 year. It is not measured for 1 year. So option first, value of final goods and services. Option two, measure for 1 year. Option three, both are correct. Option four, both are wrong. Both are correct. Next is, which of the following is not correct with respect to primary sector? First is, these activities are undertaken, yes, by directly using natural resources. There. So I repeat, these activities, question is, which of the following is not correct with respect to primary sector? First option is, these activities are undertaken by directly using natural resources. Option second is, primary sector has emerged as the largest producing sector in India. Option third, only first is correct, incorrect. Option fourth, second, and last is neither one is correct nor second is correct. Okay. Which of the following is not correct? Not correct with respect to primary sector. First is, these activities are undertaken by directly using natural resources. Is it correct? Huh? And the second is, primary sector has emerged as a leading producing sector in India. False. So it is not correct. Clear? It is not correct. Primary sector has not emerged as a leading producer. Right? It is wrong. This statement is wrong. Oh, that is correct. करंटली जीडीपी कौन से ईयर की बात जो आपने हमारा जो सिलेबस के अकॉर्डिंगली जो आपको बुक में से जो बोर्ड एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस यू विल गेट दैट वुड बी फ्रॉम द डाटा व्हिच इज गिवन इन योर एनसीईआरटी बुक. बाकी इफ यू हैव अ नॉलेज इज गुड, बट जनरली व्हाटएवर आंसर्स और ऑप्शंस आर देयर दैट इज ऑलवेज फ्रॉम द बुक. ठीक है. सो बुक आपके पुराने जीडीपी के अकॉर्डिंगली है, तो वी हैव टू मूव अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट. Such type of answers you can write down if you are very much sure in the long question answers, but not in MCQs, right? MCQ में लिखोगे it would be wrong. MCQ में actually keys are also given to the teacher in the board exams. So whatever is mentioned in the key, teacher has to check according to that only, right? Next question is, and in 10th class, papers are not checked. Say I have got a paper, right now I'm not teaching 9th and 10th history and civics, but I have to check papers of 9th and 10th also, of history, of 10th class history also, or civics also. So we have to move according to the answer keys provided by CBSE. Okay? So be very careful about all this. Next question is, which of the following is an activity of the tertiary sector? Options: dairy farming, weaving, banking. Yes. Okay. Next, in the dash sector, the government own most of the assets and provide all the services. Correct. Next, dash has highest share in GDP, whereas dash sector employs most of the people, tertiary and primary. Dash is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. I repeat the question. Dash is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. Perfect. That is unorganized sector. The sectors are classified into public and private on the basis of correct production of a commodity mostly through the natural process is an activity in the dash sector, primary sector. Next, GDP is the sum total of all the GDP is the sum total of the value of dash goods produced during a particular year, final goods and services. Next question, on the basis of assertion and reason. So, going to read first assertion, second is reason. Next time I'll have different kind of book. How many you will note down? I'll take books from you also and I'll start teaching from that also. NCERT both. Okay. So next assertion is primary sector is the largest employer. Is it correct? It is not correct? Correct or not? Correct. गुस्सा नहीं करते हैं. Reason they have given, it includes all those occupations which are related to man's natural environment like farming, animal rearing, mining, etc. Say, this is also correct. Do you think our reason justifies assertion? Incompleted. Doesn't A is correct, R is correct, but R is not the reason of A. Next is assertion is the share of agriculture in GDP, that is gross domestic product. The share of agriculture in GDP is declining in India. Is it correct? Is it correct? Yes. Reason, agricultural sector is facing problem of unirrigated land, increasing debts, seasonal employment, etc. Is it correct? Okay. So both are correct. A is also correct. R is also correct. Do you think R justify A? Yes. So because of these problems, we say people don't want to involve themselves or don't want to have such kind of activity. So everything is not up to mark in our country. Yes. Next is economic activities grouped into three categories are highly dependent. I repeat, economic activities grouped into three categories are highly dependent. Assertion. Is it correct? Okay. Okay. Reason. Primary and secondary activities cannot produce a good unless they are aided by the tertiary sector. ये भी ठीक है. So R is a true explanation of assertion. Next. Arrange the following in a correct sequence. First, secondary sector. Arrange the following sectors as per share of sectors in employment. Arrange the following according to the share of sector in employment. Secondary sector, primary sector, tertiary sector. Primary sector, primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay. Next question is, correct the following statement. The sum total of all the goods and services produced in all sectors provide GDP. Yes, I repeat my statement. Huh? I repeat the statement. The sum total of all the goods and services produced in all sectors provide GDP. Is it correct? That is only final goods. See, it seems to be correct. Running, if we'll, without thinking, if we'll read it, it would seem to be correct, but it is not. The sum total of final good. Final word is missing, and without final, goods can be intermediate goods also. It won't give the accurate picture. Underemployment, same question. Next question. Underemployment is a situation where the worker is working, but if he removed, the production doesn't fall. This guy's employment. That's correct. Next is fill up. Dash goods are used up in producing final goods and services. Dash goods are used up in producing final goods and services. Intermediate goods. In India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by, that's right, in the dash sector, the government owns most of the assets and provide all the services. Public sector. Okay, what's your name, bache? Japanjot. This is Japanpreet. I got confused. Next is, it is a sector which covers those enterprises or place of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have organized sector. Clear? This activity consists of all services, occupation, transportation, communication, trade, tertiary sector. Good. Next is distinguish between primary and secondary. How is, no, just 3-mark question or 2-mark depend. How is GDP calculated? Under this, the worker is working, but if he is removed, this we have done. 2 objectives of Manrega or Narega. All clear? Doubt तो नहीं है किसी को? GDP is calculated by adding up all the production from all 3 sectors in a 1 year. That is GDP, right? Clear? 2 advantages of working in an organized sector. कर सकते हो? Is you people can do this question? Huh? That's good. Compare public and private sector. Okay. Now I'm going to read a paragraph, source-based question, and you have to answer. Very simple. Otherwise, also very scoring. Such kind of questions. Kanta works in an office. She attends her office from 9:30 till 5:30 in the morning. She gets her salary regularly at the end of every month. In addition to the salary, she also gets provident fund as per the rules laid down by the government. She also gets medical and other allowances. Kanta does not go to office on Sundays. This is a paid holiday. When she joined work, she was given an appointment letter stating that all the terms and conditions of work. Now question. On paragraph is clear? उस दिन भी पूछा था आपने? Or someone else asked. Okay. A provident fund is whenever we suppose Now that is something else. Okay, next is on the basis of the working condition given in the source, identify the sector in which Kanta is organized sector. Next, state any two differences between organized and unorganized sector. Two they have asked and you can easily write down, four also. That I know. Huh. Huh. Hold on, please. Those who know the point, very good. Those who have some doubt, let him clear the doubts. This class is not for few only. This class is for every one of us. ऑर्गेनाइज किसे मानते हैं? Now listen all of you very attentively. Organized is on the basis of working condition. What kind of working condition I am having, say, in this institution, on that basis, I can fall in either organized or unorganized sector. That is on the basis of working condition. Second, this institution is under private sector or public sector, that is on the basis of ownership. Who owns this institution? Government or a private hand? Right? So, it is not on, and third is it a primary sector? Is it a secondary sector, this building again where we are working? Or a tertiary? Tertiary, because we are not producing anything, we are providing services to you. So three division of sectors are there. First, on the basis of nature of activity. What type of activity we are doing? We are doing related to primary, yeah, secondary, yeah, tertiary. So here, if we are talking about this institution, that is a tertiary sector. Second is on the basis of ownership. Who is the owner of this area? A private or a public? So definitely private. That is on the basis of ownership. Third is on the basis of working condition. What type of conditions we are having? Organized, yeah, unorganized, again in this institution. So three categories on three different bases. Clear? So organized can be public. Organized is generally public. Unorganized is generally private. Got it? इसमें primary, secondary, tertiary को कुछ नहीं है. Next question is, in India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by, okay, this ministry with the help of various government departments of all the Indian states and UT collect information relating to the total value of goods and services and their prices and then estimates the GDP. This is one of the paragraph. Now you have to find out the questions. What is GDP? Can do it? How it is calculated? Can get the answer from the paragraph? Okay. Next question. Next, again, paragraph based question. Another way of classifying economic activities into sectors could be on the basis of who owns assets and is responsible for the delivery of services. In the public sector, the government owns most of the assets and provide all the services. In the private sector, ownership of assets and delivery of services is in the hands of private individuals or companies. Railways, post office is an example of public sector, whereas companies like Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited and or Reliance Industries Limited are privately owned. Paragraph is clear? Question. Economic activities are classified into on the basis of first option, area and availability. Second option, ownership and provision of services. Third option, division of resources. Fourth is level of income. Second option, that is ownership and provision of services. Clear? Clear? Next, Indian Railway is an example of public sector as, I repeat, Indian Railways is an example of public sector as option first, It is controlled and managed by the government. Option 2, it is a medium of public transport. Option 3, both are correct. Option 4, both are wrong. Both are correct. Next question. Which of the following is not a feature of public sector? It is run by the government. It is regulated by profit earning. It aims at social welfare. It is an organized sector. It is regulated by profit earning. It is not correct. Public sector is always for the social welfare. Public sector is always for the common people. And whenever the word profit earning is there, it is always with private sector. Clear? Okay, next. Money and credit chapter. Which of the following is not true with respect to modern forms of money? First option, it include modern forms of money. It include paper notes, coins, and demand deposits. Second is, modern currency is without any use of its own. Is it correct? Modern currency is without any use of its own. What does it mean? Hold on. Yes? Okay. It doesn't have its own value. Like in the past, we have done in history, people, rich kings, they were, we can come to know the king is rich or not, that is from the coins. If coin is made up of gold, it shows king is very rich. Coin is made up of copper, poor king. Gold indicate richness, having its own value. अगर आपके पास 500 नोट यू आर हैविंग एंड यू आर गोइंग टू द मार्केट कि 500 नोट दे के आप मुझे 1000 का नोट दे दो, इट वोंट वर्क. मॉडर्न करेंसी नो यूज, नो वैल्यू ऑफ इट्स ओन, अपनी कीमत नहीं है उसकी. गॉट इट? नेक्स्ट इज, which of the following is not a component of terms of credit? Interest rate, collateral, mode of repayment, demand deposits. Demand deposit. Terms of credit, we have 4 only. That is collateral, interest rate, mode of documentation, and which one is left? Mode of repayment. Very good. Demand deposits, the deposits which are made by us in the banks, and whenever we are in need, we can go to the bank, we can withdraw the money. Deposits done by us on demand, we can get it back. Demand deposits. Next, which of the following is not correctly matched with respect to formal and informal source of credit? So I'll speak 2 pairs, okay? Pair group में बोलूंगी मैं. Cooperatives, formal. Landlords, formal. No, okay, false. Cooperative, formal. We have only 2 formal sources of credit, bank and cooperative. Rest all are informal source of credit. Informal, informal. Banks, cooperative, formal. Rest self-help group, money lender, friends, traders, finances, they all fall under informal sources of credit. Clear? Next question is, correct the following statement. Commercial banks are governed and regulated by government. Commercial banks, all banks, all banks. are governed and regulated by the government. RBI. Government, this time say we have BJP, next time say we have Congress. Government and this banks, or we can say finance, not related to each other. Banks are governed and regulated by RBI. RBI work on the instructions given by the central government. Is this point clear? In India, the president issues currency notes on behalf of the central government. What is false in this? RBI issues notes on behalf of central government. Cattle is included in the modern form of money. False. What is included in the modern forms of money? Coins. Collateral is the guarantee given by the lender to the borrower. False. What is wrong? उल्टा है. Borrower to lender. Self-help group are the formal sources of credit. Informal sources of credit. Dash is widely accepted as a medium of exchange in India. Rupees, appropriate. It can't be money. It can't be currency note. Currency note can be dollars also. Money can be pound, dollar, dinar also. So in India, rupees, that is widely accepted as a medium of exchange. Dash act as a medium of exchange for goods and services. Dash act as a medium of exchange for goods and services. Currency, okay, or money. Online, all of you are sleeping today. Not even a single reply. Not even a single reply. Okay, answer is, please, I have started. Answer is money. Money act as a medium of exchange for goods and services. Not rupee, not any dollar or something like that. Money. Money can be rupee, money can be dollar, money can be pound. But whenever we are talking about exchange of goods and services, definitely which is taking place from one country to another, it act or it work because of money, not because of rupees or any other currency. Dash is a paper instructing the bank Dash is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name check has been issued. Cancel. Next question is, check. He has given the answer. Next is, read the information or listen the information and tell me a single term for that. It comprises of interest rate, collateral, documentation requirement, and the mode of payment. Terms of credit. It is a system of exchanging goods. These are the deposits with the bank which can be withdrawn on demand. Next 2-mark question, 3-mark question depends. What is barter system? What is double coincidence of bonds? What are demand deposits? Name the organization which supervises the functioning of formal source of credit. Why is money accepted as a medium of exchange? What is collateral? Distinguish between formal and informal source of credit. Any doubt? Double coincidence of won't. Who would like to explain this question? Double coincidence of wonts. Online. You're also part of the class. Hanji? Example say, oh, this we can elaborate through example only. Hold on. Prabal, stand up and come forward. First bench. Yes, Kohinoor. Oh, hold on. Later on, you would be out of the class. Choice is yours. No. Barter is double coincidence of want is the feature of the barter system. System means exchange of goods. In that system, exchange of goods means take pen from me and give me pencil. Barter system, simple. One of the feature under barter system, that is double coincidence of want, which Kohinoor has explained thoroughly. It means whatever I want to buy, you are supposed to sell the product. Whatever you want to sell, I am supposed to buy the product. जो आपको बेचना है वो मुझे खरीदने की जरूरत हो, जो मुझे बेचना है आपको खरीदने की जरूरत हो. Got the point or not? Like he has explained wheat and shoes and all that. If I want to say sell wheat, you should be in need of wheat. मुझे शूज बेचने हैं, आपको शूज खरीदने हैं. आपको वीट बेचनी है और मुझे वीट खरीदनी है. दोनों की जरूरतें शुड बी सिमिलर. डबल कोइंसिडेंस ऑफ वांट. कोइंसिडेंटली वांट्स जो हमारी हैं दोनों तरफ डबल सेम है. व्हाट द पॉइंट और नॉट? चाहे व्हाट उस टाइम पे जो डेफिनेटली वैल्यू दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द ड्रॉबैक ऑफ बार्टर सिस्टम. देयर वर सम कमोडिटीज जिनकी हम वैल्यू लगा नहीं सकते थे या उसको डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते थे. लाइक इन द पास्ट पीपल यूज टू डू ट्रेड ऑफ एनिमल्स. सो एनिमल की वैल्यू अगर बोलो शूज लेके एक काउ ले दे दो तो दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. दीज आर नॉट हैविंग द सेम वैल्यू. दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द ड्रॉबैक ऑफ दिस सिस्टम, बार्टर सिस्टम. तो इस ड्रॉबैक की वजह से द सब्स्टिट्यूट वाज लेटर ऑन डिस्कवर्ड, दैट इज मनी invented, right? So clear? Yes, it is a feature. Barter system means exchange of goods. Double coincidence means whatever I want to buy and sell, there should be need of the same to you. That's why it is known as double coincidentally wants. Next is a very long paragraph or source based question. Listen very attentively. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Rama is working in a neighboring field. She works as an agricultural laborer. There are several months in the year when Rama has no work and need credit to meet her daily expenses. Expenses on sudden illness or function in the family are also met through loans. Rama has to depend on her employer, a medium landowner, for credit. The landowner charges an interest rate of 5% per month. Rama repays the money by working on the landowner. Most of the time, Rama has to take a fresh loan before the previous loan has been repaid. At present, she owes the landowner rupees 5,000. Though the landowner does not treat her well, she continues to work for him since she can get loans from him when in need. Rama tells us that only source of credit for the landless people in this village is the landowner employers. This is a paragraph. Question. Is Rama taking a loan from formal or informal source of credit? Is useful as well as harmful? What is your opinion as regards Rama's case? This I completed in 1 minute. 37 was there, right now it is 38. Next paragraph. Banks are not present everywhere in rural India. Even when they are present, getting a loan from a bank is much more difficult than taking a loan from informal source of credit. First question. Why is it difficult for the poor to take a loan from a bank? Because they can't provide collateral. They can't fulfill terms of conditions of terms of credit. So just any security is collateral, right? Suggest any two ways to increase the availability of credit in rural India.